In an age of streaming, I've found that some Christmas traditions have fallen apart. Gone are the days of arranging festivities around the TV schedule, which may seem primitive now, but there was always something cozy yet exciting about watching Christmas telly along with the rest of the country. So why is it that Wallace and Gromit is on BBC's Christmas schedule every year to this day, despite the main films having no relation to the festive holiday?
Quick! Gromit, man! We're on BBC One!
Wallace and Gromit have been hand in hand with Christmas since the very beginning, as following the premiere of 1989's A Grand Day Out at the Animation Festival in Bristol, the film's success led to its broadcast on TV the following year, given the prestigious time slot of Christmas Eve on Channel 4. The period of Christmas has always been the most desirable time to broadcast shows and films for a few reasons, such as the dark and cold weather drawing people indoors, whilst following the chaos of Christmas, all people want to do is sit back and enjoy some telly, which culminates in massive viewing figures. If A Grand Day Out had debuted on an early morning in the summer, for example, there's every possibility Wallace and Gromit would never have reached such a wide audience as it has today. Such an audience tuned in to see A Grand Day Out play on Christmas Day itself in 1993, now on BBC Two, which acted as a lead-up to the premiere of the highly anticipated next instalment, The Wrong Trousers, on Boxing Day. In the span of just a few years, Wallace and Gromit was now officially a festive television event that continued to be a hit with viewers. Similarly to the first film, A Close Shave premiered on Christmas Eve in 1995. This remained on BBC Two, with specially made Wallace and Gromit idents being featured across all programming during the festive period. I'd never seen these before, if I'm honest, but it's always really interesting to see idents without the intended voiceover and editing that would be implemented during the live broadcast. The only actual episode of Wallace and Gromit themed around Christmas is the second in the web series Cracking Contraptions, titled A Christmas Card-O-Matic.
Just one more for the album then. Say cheese. Okay, that's a wrap. Right-ho, let's start her up.
As was tradition by this point, even these 2 to 3 minute long shorts were broadcast on TV throughout the Christmas period, but this time on BBC One, the biggest television channel in the UK. In anticipation of Wallace and Gromit's return for A Matter of Love and Death in 2008, BBC One now had its own idents featuring the pair in a snowy setting, complete with a festive attire. Gotta love these specially animated segments having the same level of detail seen in the films. But notice how we seem to transition from Peter Sallis to Ben Whitehead as Wallace during this one.
Quick! Gromit, man! We're on BBC One!
After years of being featured around Christmas on secondary channels such as BBC Two, A Matter of Love and Death finally aired on Christmas Day on BBC One.
BBC One has always had the best double acts at Christmas. Morecambe and Wise, the two Ronnies, Del Boy and Rodney, and now Wallace and Gromit's return with a Who Donut mystery. It's a matter of loaf and death.
There could not be a more desirable time slot for programming, and as a result, Wallace and Gromit saw record audience numbers of 16.15 million, which is unheard of nowadays. That is an amazingly ridiculous success. For context, the Doctor Who Christmas special aired the year prior had its largest ever viewership of 13.31 million, and this blows that out of the water. The following year, in 2009, Wallace and Gromit made a short cameo in a Christmas advert for Marks and Spencer, which is a department store in the UK.
Lots of lovely stuff delivered to your door, eh, Gromit?
This is intercut with live action images of various products as Gromit attempts to order the perfect gift online. They have their regular looks in this one, though the house is decorated to be appropriately festive. Over the next Christmas period in 2010, Wallace and Gromit were immortalised on 600 million stamps across the UK. Each one featured the duo in a Christmassy predicament, once again using specially shot photographs of the real-life models and sets. That same Christmas, the TV series World of Invention aired on BBC One from the 3rd of November to the 8th of November, deviating slightly from the tradition of airing around Christmas Day itself, whilst still being in close proximity to the festive period.
Hello, viewers, and welcome to my World of Invention.
Wallace and Gromit's World of Invention on BBC One.
Fast forward to 2012 and Wallace and Gromit are starring in another Christmas advert, this time for Google Hangouts. Despite such technology feeling out of place in, well, all of these universes, this marks the first time Aardman characters from different franchises have interacted, with characters from Shaun the Sheep, Chicken Run and Creature Comforts all appearing via video call, demonstrating how Christmas brings everyone together.
Let's have a bit of order,
Just say the word, Wallace.
Quick, Gromit, fetch. There's a good lad. Righto. Everybody ready?
Then it only took another 7 years or so until the duo returned for another Christmas advert. You're probably beginning to see a pattern here. In 2019, both Wallace and Gromit and clothing company Jules celebrated their 30th anniversary, so collaborated for this lovely advert titled Christmas at the Click of a Button, with Ben Whitehead knocking it out of the park as Wallace.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Gromit, old pal. Oh, fairy lights.
Only a year later, in 2020, Wallace and Gromit returned for the DFS Christmas advert, A Comfy Carol, which was the first time I'd seen them on TV in many years and prompted questions such as, who's voicing Wallace now? Which might have contributed to the creation of a certain YouTube channel around the same time. So that is every time Wallace and Gromit have dabbled with Christmas over the last 30 years. I do find it interesting that there hasn't been a proper Christmas themed film, and yet they remain so heavily associated with one another. But the answer to why Wallace and Gromit has become a Christmas tradition is simple. It's good telly, and quality television has the honour of being played around this wonderful time. It's been confirmed that Doctor Who Christmas specials will be resuming in 2023, and with any luck, the new 2024 Wallace and Gromit film could also air on BBC One Christmas Day. These franchises have lacked a presence at Christmas for several years, with not much hope of either returning. And all of a sudden, there's the prospect of them both coming back, potentially on the same day, which is tonal whiplash of the highest order. But do you have a favourite of Wallace and Gromit's Christmas appearances over the years, and when do you think the new film will air? Personally, I'd guess Christmas Day itself, given the legacy status the franchise has now, but it could be any time in that period really. Please leave your own thoughts below, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Wallace and Gromit content. Thanks for watching and Merry Christmas.